Hey friends, it's Michael Mentz here, the creator of SeleniumBase, and today's exciting tutorial is going to be on SeleniumBase Case Plans, which is essentially a very clean integration of Markdown Table technology so that you can store your test case plans right in GitHub alongside your tests. So this can essentially replace your existing test case management software if you're bold enough to use markdown tables like this in order to describe your tests and have those descriptions live in GitHub with them. So as you can see here, these tables look very clean and everything is living right inside a markdown file, which is a .md file. So as you can see here, description of a basic test, you have your step descriptions and your expected results. If we go into, say, another one here, we log into the sauce demo site with the standard user, and we want to make sure that login was successful, and then we can add items to a cart, remove items from the cart, and make sure there's a thank you message after you check out and all that. If you wanted to see what this particular test looked like when running it, that would be pytest test swaglabs.py from the SeleniumBase examples folder. And you can see it runs pretty quick. If you wanted to just see this run a little slower, you can do pytest test swaglabs --slow, and it will slow down the test for you enough so that you can see exactly what the test is doing. Although if you want to see more details about the tests, you can use --demo mode, which will also highlight the browser actions being performed by your test. So that is just quickly running the test quickly and then slowly. Let's go back into SeleniumBase Case Plans where you can see this fancy Markdown table. In order to activate the Case Plans GUI, just type sbase Case Plans on the command line, and you'll see this nice table that essentially collects all the pytest tests that it finds, and the tests that you see here will be exactly the same ones that you would find if you did pytest --co-q. And you can see here, it has all the tests listed that you could run directly. Now, what SeleniumBase Case Plans does, or the generator here, it generates a markdown table for you. So let's say we wanted to do a case plan for one of the tests, such as test, let's find a good one. I think there was a test coffee cart. Yes, here we go. Test coffee cart.py. That did not have an existing case plan, so we're going to check that button, and then we're going to click the green button here, generate boilerplate case plans for selected tests missing them. If we click that button, we'll see a message. One new boilerplate case plan was generated. So if we click OK and we go into our view, we will be able to see the test coffee cart right here. And as you can see here, it is just a boilerplate. There is no test written there because all it is just a boilerplate markdown table, which makes it easy for you to fill in the steps and the expected results. And the markdown table that you see here will render beautifully once it's completed. So let's say we want to create the test case description of the existing tests. So we will go and open it. Open test coffee cart, which basically adds a cappuccino, a flat white, and a cafe latte to the cart. And then it goes through the checkout process, types in your name, email, and then submits for payment, and then make sure that you have thanks for your purchase. So let's just run that one quick so you can see what it looks like. Pytest test coffee cart.py. Goes pretty fast, so I'm going to slow it down. This time I'm going to use demo mode. test coffee cart dash dash demo. It's going to go in. You're going to see that it's first asserting the title, and then it's going to click on 3 coffees, and then it's going to go to your cart, and then it's going to show you that, that is the total. It verifies all that information, types in your name, email, submits, and you get a thank you for your purchase. So let's say we wanted to create the test plan for this particular test. So we're just going to simplify things for the moment. Let's see, add 3 coffees to the cart. And then verify coffees are in the cart. And then perform checkout. And then verify checkout successful. Okay, so that is the Markdown table that you have here. The next part is, let's say we want to generate a summary of all the existing case plans. Well, there is a button for that, generate summary of existing case plans. You can see that now it generated a full summary. And if we want to view what that looked like, we can go to open case summary.md, and you'll see it has collected all the different existing case plans that are there into a nice summary file. And if we search for our coffee one here, you can see that it has it all here using the summary, the code syntax, and the Markdown table. And when all this is rendered, it's going to look just like the examples that you see here. This was the boilerplate table that was generated. That's what the boilerplate table looks when rendered when you haven't actually filled out any steps. And then here's how something looks when you've actually filled out a bunch of steps, so that you actually have a full detailed description of a case plan, which is quite convenient. And the SeleniumBase Case Plans generator just basically integrates Markdown table technology with GitHub so that you can store everything there. Here's an example of a case summary file that I already had checked into GitHub. It shows you the total number of case plans with customized tables, which means you've done more than just created a boilerplate, which is what you get when you create the new boilerplate for the test plan, but you haven't actually filled it out yet. And if something went wrong, like you accidentally deleted the table or something, then this will be the symbol. So here are the tests that are already there, and you can see that earlier we had things like test demo site and my first test, etc. So as you can see here, the summaries look quite beautiful because the Markdown tables render quite nicely in GitHub. And individually, you can go into the case plans folder that will be created, and you can go into individual case plans and see all the steps. Like here, my first test swag labs, where you have the first demo that we ran. You log in and you add a backpack to a cart, and then check out, and then verify that you got the thank you message. So that essentially is a full summary of how case plans works. Markdown table technology, it does all the heavy lifting for you, which essentially is organizing everything, creating boilerplate markdown tables, and then combining everything for you into a nice case summary file so that things look really nice once everything's on GitHub. And the case summary file here is an example of that there. If you go into the SeleniumBase examples folder, there is one there so that you can see how it all renders once it's complete. If you go back into the GUI, as you can see here, all the checkboxes are ones that you've already decided to create a boilerplate for and a test description filled out. The unchecked boxes are ones that you haven't yet created test descriptions for, but that is the big summary of case plans. It's basically test case management stored in GitHub beautiful Markdown tables, everything is nice, and then you can have not just your code in GitHub, but all your, test case descriptions and test case management there as well. All right, well, thank you once again for joining me for another exciting Selenium-based tutorial, and there will be more exciting tutorials to come. Thank you, and have a good night.